robią nowe Playbook!
Hello, hello, hello.
We are live. Welcome to the Playbook Live, guys, from 239 Live. We're talking sports with people who like to talk sports.
Yeah.
Except for this guy. He thinks he knows sports. He might a little bit.
Yeah.
If you want to,
You can take them off. You don't even have to wear them.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
I can. Yeah,
I think it's better that way.
We'd like to welcome, we have a guest today. This is not Chris into disguise. What, is that freaking you out that bad?
Yeah,
He-
I can't do it. I can't do
Look.
it, bro.
Let's see. Let's check here. Is that better? No? Okay. We're going to check. We may have technical difficulties. Let me check all this here. I've got the speakers showing that it's operating.
Oh,
there you
Okay.
go.
got him.
All right.
All right, so let's start over.
Yeah.
Nothing like problems.
As usual, hey, you can start this.
All right, welcome to 239 Live. I feel like a broken record. Welcome to 239 Live presents the Playbook Live, talking sports with people who talk sports and don't do technical things.
Oh my God.
I can't win here, man.
No,
I
we
can't
can't.
win
That's all right, man. We all make mistakes.
all right, you want to do your
Yeah. So,
introduction?
anyways, well, I want to introduce. We have David Brewer here with us today, folks. And I wanted to say thank you so much for coming in.
Appreciate it, man.
I know Chris is probably angry as all get out. He's he had contacted you and reached out to have you come,
Yeah.
and but of course he booked this when he was on a cruise. So he is now
You're lost, bro.
Yeah, good job.
You're lost, dude.
But I was telling everyone before I obviously didn't have the mics working that I was super excited when I came down here when I first moved here, because when I came here, all I knew about was this place was gated communities and golf courses. And then someone, because I'm from the Midwest originally, and I grew up just mudding in fields with vehicles that weren't allowed to, shouldn't be, like I drove an 85 Dodge Diplomat, and most people probably have no idea what those are, but those used to be cop cars with a 318 engine in it that was just wouldn't quit. I love that. And when I came here and they were like, "Oh, you're going to want to go check out this place where they do these things called Swamp Buggy Races." And I go, "What is that?" And
I
I'm
say that. Yeah.
and I go, they're like, "Oh, trust me, this is your cup of tea." And man, when I went to go there, I was like in heaven, absolute heaven. And so, please enlighten us a little bit more about your sport, your event, and because I know that you were telling us a little bit before we started, but just kind of get for the crowd that doesn't know, obviously, But for those that do, just give us more information about it.
Well, Swamp Buggy started somewhere around 1949, 1950. It was just a bunch of hunters that had their special made buggies to get
Yeah.
out in the Everglades and stuff, I've heard the story many times, but and it just morphed into this everybody showing up at the beginning of hunting season and I want to, race one another with their buggies
Yeah.
that they built to make it out in the Everglades. And then it just slowly over the years turned into a competition. Before you know it, Naples was promoting it. And then here we are in 2026 and we're racing, pro mod motors that are, 1,000+ horsepower, that wouldn't survive 1 second in swamp. So, more for hunting,
Yeah.
so it's basically just straight up racing. I
Yeah.
mean, and there's several classes. I got into it about 11, 12 years ago.
Okay.
I've been around racing pretty much my whole life. My brother, he started out drag racing when I was like 7, 8 years old. And I think when I was about, 18, 19 years old, they built a chassis to go out and swamp buggy race.
Okay.
Because it's a local thing.
Yeah.
And they're born and raised here like me and the rest of my family. And they never really finished it. And they hung it on the wall at my brother's shop.
Okay.
And it hung there for years and years and years. So I came along, like 12 years ago, a buddy of mine, his name's Bruce, his dad Skip. I've known them my whole life. They had been racing down Swamp Buggy Races. So Bruce had broke his arm and they asked me to go. I had drag race a little bit. They're like, hey, will you come down and drive our buggy? And I'm like, I don't really anything to do with it. So they talked me into it. I went down, I raced, made it to the final round in that class,
Yeah.
I fell in love. It was just amazing. I was just never driven one and just had the time of my life. So got back to the shop. I'm like, I want to build one of these things, so that old chassis was hanging in the rafters at our shop. So I took it and chopped it all up, made it into what I thought could be competitive. And here I am 11 years later and won the championship.
Yeah.
And,
That's so awesome.
It was a long road, but made a lot of good friends, great people out there.
Yeah.
We're all local people. And looking forward to the race here coming up April 4th.
How many races do you do a year?
There's 3. Sometimes they do 4.
Right.
It just depends on the Swamp Buggy group and what they want to do sponsorship wise. And something like this one is a night race.
Okay.
It's our season finale for the Coors Cup,
Yeah.
Smecco Cup.
And you're first in the standings.
I am first in the standings right now. I think I don't have a very big lead over Taylor Edmonds. He's pretty stout. That's Taylor right there. Yeah, his dad's Eddie Chester, who's the most winningest driver out there. His
Eddie
dad
Chester's been out there
built
forever.
that buggy.
Yeah.
And so he's tough. He's not in my class. He is in the stock class, but the way the point systems work, if he's winning, in that class and I'm
Right.
winning in my class, we both meet in the big feature. It's kind of like, it's pretty tight. They do a really good job with the point system out there. The board of directors does a great job putting on the whole event. Jessica Baldwin, and there's like 13 directors, and the sport's kind of a big family oriented thing. There's most of the race teams out there are from, their local families,
Right.
For, generations over generations. And, the Chesters, the Langfords, the Johns, there's several family Greenlings, and there's many more. I probably forgot a couple. The Jeep guys, it's all family oriented, so, but I broke in, I'm kind of like an outsider because I don't have no history there, no
Right.
family there, and done pretty well since I've started. So, and there's a new generation coming up, of guys. Taylor's one of them. The other guy that I raced in that final, Hayden Migliazzo, that's another little family out
Right.
there. There's an up and coming group of young guys that are, going to keep the sport going. I think I got another 15, 20 years out there maybe, and it's a great time. It's never been something you should experience.
What's now like? What do you? Because a lot of money goes into this stuff and everything else. Like, how much do you rely upon with like sponsorship and everything else with that?
Well, I have a few sponsors. I have, of course, my business, the Closet Design Twins. We do custom closets.
Okay. Yeah.
Naples, Florida. Outdoor Solutions here. It's my buddy Randall's business.
Yeah,
shout out
Randall.
Oh, Outdoor Solutions.
Yeah.
Yep, there we go.
Got
Right
it.
here.
And and I have other people that help me along the way, a little bit. It all helps.
Yeah.
We don't depend on it,
Yeah.
We're not out there to make money. I mean,
Right.
it pays okay. Like if you're winning, you make a little bit of money to offset some of the costs
Right.
and stuff, but we're not getting rich like the NASCAR guys.
No, no.
So it's an expensive hobby.
Yeah.
But I love it. We love it. It brings
Sure.
my family together. It brings all my friends together. It's just a great time, a great weekend, and there's great competition out there. We have a lot of rivalries, but in the end, I think everybody, for the most part, gets along afterwards.
It's long-ish.
There it gets along-ish.
Yeah.
It's a lot of competition. So there's, people get heated and
Yeah.
get upset, and then hopefully in the end everybody can like shake hands, and it gets a little crazy out there sometimes. But we
But
get
that-
through it.
I think that's the best part about it.
I
Though.
love
You
it.
gotta have the
It
competition.
is.
You know.
You have to have that. Like, I've had rivalries with several of the other teams out there, the Johns family team, and everybody, and it just goes back and forth. But that's what makes it good, great.
Right.
The Jeep guys, that's a whole nother thing. I'm not even gonna get into that. Those guys,
They're serious.
those guys have their own cult, man.
Yeah.
They don't. They're like the Hatfields and McCoys. I was telling them, it's like they just after each other, man. It's something to see.
You
Yeah.
seen any fist fights out there?
I have seen fist fights out there.
Yeah.
Not that I'm promoting that at all, but
Hey, listen,
I have seen some stuff. There's people get heated. You see racing, you see
Yeah.
NASCAR.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say
They're
that,
always fighting.
Oh yeah.
It's no different out
No.
there. You get out of a race car and you're irritated because you just got like ran over,
Right.
or the guy did something bad on the track too. It's hard to bottle that up and just go back to your pit. Some of these
Right.
guys, it just gets the best of them.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
they're throwing punches, and then for their pit crews over there. It's just like NASCAR. It's no different
Yeah.
than any other racing sport. People get upset, man.
Yeah.
they do.
It's
I
'cause
would.
it's a lot. It's
Right.
a lot of preparation. You do a lot to get to that point. And then when somebody does something stupid and
Screws up
helps
your
you,
chances.
wrecks you or
Right.
something like that, yeah, people
Yeah.
get a little hot.
How much time do you think preparation time does it take to get you ready towards one race?
Well, I mean, if you want to talk like once you're established in, like we are, like, you already have a buggy.
Right.
Like, so in between races, we got about 6 weeks
Mhm.
in between each race. And you kind of need it. The hard part is we don't get to practice throughout the year. We can't just go to the track and practice. So,
That was my next
Yeah.
question. Yeah.
yeah. It's tough. So our practice is basically the Saturday before Sunday.
Right.
They open the track for 4 or 5 hours
Mhm.
with the safety crew. It's mainly because the safety crew
Right.
and all the stuff that has to be there. We're not racing on pavement.
Right.
If you flip over, you're underwater.
Yeah.
Depending on somebody to rescue.
Right.
And then a lot of people flip over. I've flipped over twice. It
Right.
just happens. It's part of the sport. But so prep wise, like this last race, I broke like 4 valve springs and I bent my front tire.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
it takes about 4 or 5 weeks sometimes. Depends on your budget
Yep.
and depends on your availability to get things, because
Yeah.
you're not pulling the stuff off the shelf.
No.
We build most of these things. Our front tires, our rear tires, suspension, axles, we build it all.
Right.
So it just takes time if you break stuff, you need that 6 weeks. Sometimes you need more, but and honestly, some of the other teams will jump in and help out if you need a hand. It's definitely that way. So I would say the 6 weeks is minimum.
A lot of fabricating going on.
A lot of fabricating things. If you go out and race and you win and you don't tear nothing up, just the maintenance alone between races where you want to change your oil, cut your oil
Yep.
filter open, make sure, all that kind of stuff. There's probably 3 or 4 weeks straight of just checking over everything. You don't want a tire to fall off. We had a tire break off this last race and, flew over into the, pit area.
Right.
So the safety, Swamp Buggy's doing a great job with the safety, and they're definitely addressing that now. They're going to put up some barrier, maybe a taller fence. They're all about safety.
Right.
I'll give them credit for that. The safety crew does an amazing job. I flipped over one time, I was underwater. They were on me pretty quick. Like they've gotten a lot better over the years, and all the guys out there in safety crew, just amazing job. And give a shout out to them because they do.
That's
do.
all.
Yeah.
It's a good peace of mind knowing they're there.
Yeah.
Steve Reedy and his crew, they do a great job.
So real quick, so like we were talking a little bit before about when you first started and you had to kind of come up through the ranks.
Right.
So take us through that a little bit. Like where you, I remember you saying that, your buddy had you go out there and run.
Yeah.
Sometimes kind of hooked you in.
There's a few individuals that have come out and jumped right into the pro class.
Mhm.
I don't know what their racing background is.
Mhm.
I'm sure they had some before they jumped in one of these things. These things are different. Like I've dragged
Right.
on pretty fast in the dragster, things like that. These buggies are like it's like a different G-force feel, and it's really weird. Um, I started out in the stock class because I felt like that was my best shot to kind of budget wise back then,
Right.
and learning curve and building. They're slower, especially the driving part.
What size engine is that?
So the stock class is basically it's a V8.
Right.
How they restrict it is through the carburetor. So in the stock class, you have to run a 390 carburetor, which
Okay.
is like an inch and 5/16,
Right.
3/16 butterfly, something like that. It's basically the butterfly size of the carburetor. So in the pro class, we can run an 850, which is inch and 3/4 butterfly. So the cubic inch is the same. It's like 485 cubic inch. You can run. There's a few other rules, but none that really matter. But so I started out in the stock class and worked my way up. I was in stock class for probably, I don't know, 7 years, 8 years. And there towards the end, unless I broke, I was pretty much winning. So I decided, it's time for me to move up to the pro class, where I always wanted to be, because I used to go to these races when I was younger, a kid and stuff, and I always wanted to race against the Chessers and the Langfords and stuff, and this was my opportunity to finally do it. So I moved up to the pro class. But I think it's starting out. Some guys start out in a 4-cylinder class, air cooled class, and they kind of have worked their way up. Some people just end up staying in the class that they're in. I think like the 4-cylinder class. There's there's very few buggies that do that, but they kind of get there and they stay there because that's where they're budget friendly, and
Right.
and they just want to be a part of it. And the 4-cylinder class, good competition. There's just not a lot of buggies. And then
Right.
there's a 6-cylinder class, and then the V8, and then we got the pro guys.
And that's like the heavyweight.
That's the heavyweight.
That's the
Here in the
heavyweight.
pros, it's like the jump from the stock class to the pro class, which I did 4 years ago. It's a big jump. It's like going from, like from college to say
Right.
pro and something.
Yeah.
It's the speed is tremendously different.
Right.
Stock buggies are getting faster. But it was an adjustment for me, like driving. I'm
Right.
still trying to get it. I mean, I did pretty good this last race.
See,
Smith.
hey, listen, you gotta do something, man. I'm adjusting and winning.
I'm a This is Smith.
Love it.
Luck plays a part. Like I broke 4 valve springs on Saturday and didn't even know it, and went out there and raced Sunday. And
Love it, dude.
well, and it made it through Sunday. We
Right.
had no idea it had 4 broken valve strings in it, but I could tell that on the top end it was a little bit flat, and I didn't know why. I thought
Right.
maybe I was running out of gear, but it had never done that. So I just ran it. I'm like, it's fast enough.
Yeah.
So when we got done, I took the valve cover off. There's valve spring pieces laying on the head and stuff. So we were like,
Love it, dude.
luck. It's just
Hold
luck.
my beer. Watch this.
God was on my side,
Yeah.
and all the cards fell right, and we got lucky. And on Saturday I didn't practice it. I went out there and didn't even get off the starting line. I zinged into neutral because we had the linkage wrong
Yep.
with the transmission. And I think that's where I broke the valve springs, and got all that worked out. And man, we made it through the day. It was man, it was something.
Man,
How we looking over there, guys? Everything looks good. All right. We're just making sure.
Great time.
John gets nervous. We've had some unfortunate technical difficulties.
That's all right.
Yeah, we just started not too long ago
Yeah.
doing it, so we're still feeling our way. We're in the stock class right now.
Yeah, we're still
We're in the stock class right now. We're trying to get it over there.
We really appreciate you guys having me on. I told the people at Swamp Buggy,
Yeah.
Jessica, she's the president.
Yeah.
She's the president out there.
Shout out,
and,
Jessica.
yeah, she does a really good job out there. And she's got her son involved now and stuff. A lot of families.
Yeah.
I told her I was coming on, and we appreciate you guys promoting the sport.
Yeah.
Local, the advertising helps with everything. The crowds have been really big this year. Really, it's been exciting this year. Like they've done a really good job. The board we have now, and I haven't always agreed with everything they've
Right.
done. You're not going to make everybody
No.
happy, but they've brought it since I started to now. The crowds have gotten almost double.
Yeah.
They're doing something.
Right.
And the tracks, looks really good. They're keeping the track up. Brian Langford, his crew, Randy Johns, all them guys that take care of the track, they're doing an amazing job. They're really, I got to give them a shout out for that.
And
As much as I have them as rivalries, because
Yeah.
they're actually they have their own race teams, they've been doing pretty good with the track.
and that's one of the things like that, like what we're trying to do here is especially is to promote, local stuff like this,
Yeah.
because it's a time honored tradition here. Like I got
Yeah.
when I moved here, this was one of the things I heard about. I got super excited about
Yeah.
because I was like, all right, no. And I haven't gone out to it every year, but I've gone out to it several years and it's so much fun every time.
Well, I'm
I mean,
excited about it again. I'll tell you, I haven't been in about 4 or 5 years.
It's you know, there's an area there that I used to go to when I was going to the
Yeah,
it's called Standing Room.
yeah,
It's the area around the backside of the track.
Yeah.
So,
VIP.
yeah, the VIP stuff, but they're like that's the locals back there.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother world back there. So if you get a chance to go to the races, kind of take your little golf cart or whatever you got and kind of cruise back there and see all the local people.
yeah.
Yeah.
They do it up back there. They put scaffolding up and
They do.
live music. I mean, they go
Yeah.
crazy over there. It's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, I get to see it a little bit when I'm coming around the corner, and I see them over there. I got groups of people over there,
Yeah.
fans of mine and stuff.
Are they still camping back there?
They
too?
camp back there.
Oh, yeah.
And
that's the shenanigans right there,
Oh,
my
yeah.
guy.
It's an experience
It's-
in itself.
Yeah.
And they should sell tickets for that on
Yeah.
Saturday night.
I've been
yeah,
back. I've
I'm
been back
telling you.
there. I've been back there a few times in my life,
Yeah.
and
And that place has been packed the last few races. Like it's
That's awesome.
crazy. Like I said, we had Cletus McFarland out
Mhm.
the race before. He drove Brian Langford's rubber duck buggy, and
we're ducky.
he had he's got a big following on YouTube and
Yep.
stuff. So he came out and raced and practiced and then raced in the race. And I raced against him a second round, beat him by half a track.
Just saying.
just saying.
Put that out.
But
Yeah,
he
mic
won a
drop,
lot of fan base with him. They sold the park out.
Yeah,
It was and even this last race, it was a big, huge crowd, and that's good for Swamp Buggy. It's
Yeah.
good for because it takes a lot of money to put the race on.
Right.
And they have sponsors, with Coors Banquet and
Right.
stuff. A lot of sponsors on here, Langford Lawn Service, Grill Tractor, Phoenix Associates, Greenland Roofing, Dolly's down in Bonita.
Yeah.
They have a lot more sponsors, and they, a lot of volunteers.
Yep.
I don't know all the volunteer groups. I wish I did. I wish I would have brought a list, but a lot of people, different groups around, Naples,
Yep.
Bonita, in the local area, they come out and they volunteer for parking and security and, all those things that are involved with, putting on an event that
Yeah.
big. Because you got to buy insurance. There's a lot of cost in that.
That's the insurance is through the damn.
Insurance is, I think, the biggest expense they have.
Right.
Yeah.
And then when they do a night race, they have to, the lights,
Yep.
all the stuff that goes into it. I don't want to get long winded on it, but they do a good job with it, and the parks, making good
Yep.
money to put. It's a nonprofit,
Right.
not for profit, however they say it. And it's coming along. Sports are really coming along. It's good to see the fan base growing.
Right.
Merchandise sales through the roof. We've been selling out for 3 races in a row with all my T-shirts and stuff. And
It's awesome.
it's just
What's the name of your buggy?
Backdraft.
Backdraft. Yeah.
Well, I'm retired. I retired 3 months ago from the Green Springs Fire Department. I was
Okay.
a lieutenant there for 33 years.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And so Backdraft, it's
Yep.
a fire thing.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, the people, I don't know if they're supporting the firefighters by buying my shirt or are they supporting me in racing, but you know what?
We appreciate it.
But
Absolutely.
I donate half of all my proceeds, even half of my winnings, to the Wounded Warriors Foundation. It's
Fantastic.
it's on the shirt.
Perfect.
It's
Yeah.
on the buggy.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a great cause. I have a lot of military background. I personally wasn't in the military, but I have a lot of family and
Yeah.
friends that have been in the military, so I support that, tremendously with that. It's a great cause.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's pretty much it for me.
Well, so I just had an idea.
Yeah.
We need to go out and do a live broadcast.
Yeah,
From the show,
and I'm
or
sure
from the race.
you contact Jessica Baldwin at the sports park,
Mhm.
and she will set you up with whatever you need.
Yeah,
to set up.
absolutely.
They would, I think, welcome you with open arms.
Yeah. And for those of you watching, please spread it around. We want to bring more support, more people sponsoring these events as well, helping these guys out, because this thing is so much fun to watch. Whether you're just going out to watch it or even chipping in, volunteering, sponsoring, please, add to this thing is just so much fun. I get so ramped up just listening. Once those things start purring
Yeah.
and then the mud
yeah.
starts flinging, I'm like,
If you're a motorhead, it's definitely worth coming to see.
Yeah.
It's a show.
yeah, it's man.
It's just raw horsepower. And
Yeah.
What's that?
Next one, spring class. That's this next one.
That's the one I just won, and
Yep.
then the next one is Saturday, April 4th.
You can't read the giant
I-
red
bro,
print.
There's a lot going on right here. and I kind of blanked out a little bit.
Yeah. So they usually put the previous winner on
Yeah.
the following, so
Yep.
that's me there. That's
Yep.
Taylor. He come in, he won his class. So but yeah, that just came out today and they handed it. I was like, hey, that's great. I can take it
Yeah.
down.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm just here to tell you,
So-
Taylor, my guy's coming for you next
Yeah.
race,
Yeah.
April 4th.
We both have to win our classes to race against each other. So, he's a good friend. I'm a good friend of his dad's, so I wish him the best. He's actually the only one I think that can beat me for the cup. So we had this little rivalry for this next race. So
Now, question: how much texting behind the scenes is going on between you two right now?
a lot. So we actually had a little back and forth today.
Little crap talking.
Well, he's actually, Taylor. He's a radio guy. Like,
Yeah.
he has he used to have a podcast
Yeah.
and stuff. I used to be on. I don't remember the name of it. Sorry, Taylor. I don't
Yeah.
remember.
Oh,
But he's a radio guy.
Yeah.
Like, you got any tips for me when I go on the show? I
Yeah.
don't want to sound like a moron.
Yeah.
So, and he said, no, I got nothing for you.
just meet me at the track.
I got nothing for you. Don't make me leaders. He's actually real supportive. He was
That's
excited
awesome.
about me coming on. He
Yeah.
wanted to actually. I was going to invite him to come with me, but he lives on the other coast. So
Okay.
he's a big businessman.
Yeah. Ooh.
Taylor, we want to come on
Yeah,
and
listen.
let's see your side of what's
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on here.
Listen.
I'd love to have you on,
Yeah.
man, so we could see.
Yeah, it's good fun, man. There's the father sons that are out there with
Yeah.
one another. The like Dan Greenling and his son, and you got Randy Johnson, his son. Kyle. There's a lot of father son stuff
That's
going
still
on there, and it's great for the sport.
Yeah.
It's good to see that, and I'm sure it's exciting for the dads to race their kids,
Oh.
and things like that.
Excited for the kids to
So,
race their dad.
Yeah, excited for the kids want to beat their dads, which happened I think both times this race. Yeah, so it's a really, really good time. It's a good family atmosphere.
That's what
know?
I like about it. And you can
Yeah.
tell when you go out there, like
Yeah.
just not only with the racing families that are there,
Yeah.
but even the crowd and
The
everyone else,
crowd, they got great food. There's
yeah.
a lot of vendors.
Yeah.
It's a great time.
Yeah.
Sometimes I almost wish I could attend the race instead of watching.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately a couple times I've lost in the first round. So I I'm over there kind of like just
Spectator area.
I don't want nobody, but
Yeah.
I love to watch it still.
Yeah.
It's still exciting to me, even
Yeah.
if I'm not if I get knocked out of competition, I stay till the end.
Yeah.
So does that make you want to get does that get your competitive fire going when you
Kinda
get knocked
does.
out?
Honestly, Eddie's been pretty dominant out there the last 3 years. He's been dominant his whole career, but the last 3 years since I've been in the pro
Yeah.
class, he's been pretty dominant. Like, and I sit there, like when I first got into, I lost the first couple rounds. I flipped, I wrecked, I
Yep.
blew up, caught on fire once, and I sit there and watch them guys, and it just fuels me.
Yeah.
It's like the whole Jordan effect. Where
Yep.
Jordan's like, I
Yes.
just need something.
Yep.
So I would sit there and just watch these guys win after win after win, and here I am on the trailer,
Yep.
and I'm like, all I do is think about how can I get better. And if I stay there and watch these guys, it just fuels me to like go back to the shop and get in the lab and figure out, all right, this is what I need to get better.
I love it, dude.
And that's what I do. I still do, even after this race, man.
Yeah.
I've already got some plans for next year of how I'm going to get faster, because if you don't, these guys are going to get better.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
They're going to get better.
Yeah.
It's just the way it works. It's
Yeah.
just the evolution of racing out there. You see how far it's come since they've had, just woods buggies with airplane tires on. So
Yeah.
every year somebody's
Do it
innovating something,
Yeah.
and especially that pro class. There's
Yep.
guys out there they don't have a budget. They've just got carte blanche to everything in the country. Like,
Right.
they're just trying to get the best motors, the
Yep.
best, and they're going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
And I got to try to keep up with it.
Yeah.
And it's good for me to win. I'm really, proud of what we've done, me and my guys, my brother, my team. And we've come a long way. We're just local. Like, I build all my own stuff, my
Right.
motors, everything right here in Bonita Springs.
That's all.
And and I'm going up against some of the best engine builders in the country,
Yeah.
that these guys are buying their motors from.
I never
So it's,
looked at it like that.
It's a
dude.
good pat on the back for me,
Yeah.
because I design and build my own motor, right? It's a little Ford small block.
Yeah.
And I think I'm one of the few that run small block in that.
Really?
class. Yeah.
Holy
Because it's
cow.
a 485 cubic inch
Yeah.
limit. So most times you just going big block.
Yeah.
Big block Chevrolet, big block Ford is what
That was
most of the
bigger.
guys run.
Right.
There's a couple other small blocks out there, but I don't really know if the small block, big block thing plays a role. It's really just about the cubic inch. And
Yeah.
I can't get 485 cubic inches out of a small block, but I can get close.
Right.
But with the setup that I like, and I feel like that Ford small block is what offered that. And
Right.
so when I put together the cam, all the stuff that goes into building
Yep.
a motor, the combination just worked.
Right.
I didn't know if it was or not, but it has worked. I have stumbled onto a good combination, and that's why it's
Right.
there's no hidden secret.
No.
I'm not running nitrous. I'm not cheating. And trust me, tech has gone through my stuff.
Right.
And I just found a really good combination between the power and the traction. It's just working.
Right.
And the suspension setup. It's all just come together finally.
Right.
And I'm scared to make adjustments, but I'm going to have to. I got to try to get a little better. It might send me backwards, or maybe it'll trail me a little faster.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but you have to keep trying.
Yep.
You're going to fail. If you don't fail, you're never going to win.
No.
So, and I failed enough, and I finally got one. So, hopefully I can just keep getting,
keep climbing. That's awesome.
Yeah. You were telling me that you've been there at the cusp a few times already.
Oh yeah.
Hey, what was it? How many times have you been in the finals and lost?
I've been in that big feature 4 times before this one.
Yeah.
And I think 3 of them were against Eddie Chesser. And it's, it's tough to win out there.
Yeah.
I don't know what people think, but it's hard. It's hard to win out there. And to get one of these, there's only so many guys that ever won this.
Right.
So I'm finally got one, and no one can take it away from me.
That's so awesome.
So that's like, I feel like the weight's been lifted off, and I'm kind of freed up now to try to get better.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got the picture.
Yeah. That when I took your picture and I was putting it over into like the little AI thing for this, or not for this one, but for the other post.
My guys at the fire department were making fun of the AI image you guys made.
Which one? This one?
Yeah.
No,
And they're listening. So
yeah. So I was like, man, look at the pure joy in his face right there. But you could see it. Like, I mean,
that was 11 years of a journey that just
grind
came to finally.
You could just see
finally came. That was like the culmination. It was just so many emotions. I even missed the turnoff where we're supposed to turn off and go up to the winner circle. So I missed the turnoff.
Yeah.
So I just went on around the track, around the backside, and come around the track, and I'm thinking, oh God, Jessica and her they're gonna be all pissed off at me. I had no idea.
Right.
But they loved it. And all the fans were coming to the fence.
Yeah.
I drove up on the bank on the other side, and I drove up to the winner circle
backwards
on the other side. And I just, because I was so excited, I missed the turn. I was thinking the whole
victory lap, dude. Victory lap.
That's what everybody said. But I was thinking the whole time I messed up. Like, man, I missed the turn off. I'm gonna look like a moron.
It's the best finish ever.
Yeah. So it turned out to be pretty cool. So I just rolled with it.
Yeah.
Maybe you started new
I
trend.
haven't told anybody it was a mistake until now, but
See, that's the best stories about it. Though.
Yeah.
That's what's awesome.
Man, I was just like, I didn't even know it. Once I crossed the finish line, I was like, oh my God, this just happened.
Yeah.
And before I know it, there's the turn. I'm like, oh, screw it. I just keep driving. God, man.
I get it, man. I've been in sports my whole life, and I've hit the winning home run, the winning hit, and that, man, there's nothing like it.
It's always, it's for me anyway.
Yeah.
We started a new trend with the victory lap at Swamp Buggy Races when you went.
We used to do it, I think. I don't know. It was a mistake, but
no. You know what? That's what the thing. It wasn't a mistake. It was exactly what it needed to be, because it was a beautiful moment. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's
Well, they're putting all that work in, man. For 11 years of grinding, striving, trying to figure it out, having them competitive juices.
My goal was to get to the pro class and get one of these wins. And after 11 years, I finally had it.
Now we're gonna get a cup championship.
And I go after the cup now. Don't put no pressure on me.
Come on, man. I'm just trying to motivate.
Right there, right there, like the cup's right here. I'm that close, and my 2 best friends, Eddie and his son, are the guys I've got to beat to get it.
Listen,
so they're, it's bittersweet. So
it's okay.
I know I got to put on my game face and make the best of it.
Yeah, all this
we got faith in you.
All is fair in love and war, man.
Eddie's tough. He's tough character, but I expect a good race out of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
he's not going to give me any inch.
If you guys, if anybody watching has never been to the Swamp Buggy Races, I highly, highly recommend it. I grew up here. I'm from this area. I've been out there since I was able to walk. I've been to the VIP section. I don't go there no more. But it's
probably
getting
not good if you're trying to quit drinking.
Listen, I may have been there before my sobriety years. There may have been a few times I was out there. I don't remember quite clearly.
Well, listen, I know there's a couple times I was supposed to be walking and I was crawling through the mud out there. There's a couple mud holes out there. And then I remember specifically hanging off the back of my buddy's work truck rack, standing on the bumper hanging onto the rack with a bottle of Captain Morgan. That's the last. That's the last one I remember in the VIP section. But that was,
Hey, it's a good time.
15 years ago, 20 years ago.
It's a great time out there. I'm telling you. I mean, all of our families, Randall and his family, Britt and her family, we were all born and raised here,
Yeah.
So, but a lot of the fan base, it ain't just locals. A lot of it's
Yeah.
the people who are here seasonally. They're in the stands and they enjoy the hell out of it.
Yeah.
That's how they build their fan base. I think Naples, it's like a Naples tradition, like the city of Naples is, all with it stuff. Yeah, it's a great time. Right
Yeah, Chris didn't realize when he got here, he just saw gated communities and golf courses that we are right on the
There's still
edge.
there's still some local stuff.
Listen, yeah,
We're right on the edge of Everglades.
Yeah.
Bro.
I was
Come on.
like, God, I moved to the, I didn't move. I came to visit and got trapped.
Yeah.
And then I was like, man, what did I get myself? Yeah. I was like, man, what did I get into? And then I was like, God, this is not for me. But then I was like, oh, I love it now. I'll stay.
He said, there ain't no cornfields out here.
I mean, I've been around the country, man.
Yeah.
And maybe just because I'm partial to this place, and I love it here.
I love it
here, but I've been around the country, and there's a reason why people are moving here from all over the country. I think it's paradise. I wouldn't want to live it.
Agreed, 100%. Born and raised.
I don't think any of us locals would say, you know what? I think I'm going to pack up and move to Michigan.
Negative.
Not gonna.
Negative.
I definitely don't think anyone's picking Michigan at all. But it's very funny. This was not my ideal last stop because I've lived a lot of places due to my time in the military and everything else and traveling. This was not before I met my wife. I was on my way out of here, and I was like, I'm definitely not staying down here. But I have now built a life down here, and I'm like, man, every time I'm like, I'm leaving, I'm like, I just keep getting more and more sucked in down here. It's like it's sad. I joke about her, but I'm because it's like I love it more and more down here.
Well, I have a lot of friends that they're seasonal.
Yeah.
They'll be here for like 8 months, and then they'll go up north for. One of my guys on my crew, he stays in Tennessee for 34 months, and they're down here. They're just back and forth.
Yeah.
This is their home.
Yes.
This home base.
Tennessee's nice too. I like Tennessee.
Yeah,
that's where
I like the southern states. I mean, if I was going to move anywhere, it'd definitely be one of the southern states. That's just because
I ain't going nowhere till I
ain't going
retire.
to Minnesota.
No,
No.
nope, not there. Not gonna happen.
Well, I could go to Alaska.
I'm visiting Alaska. I'm a Florida guy. My blood's thin. I mean, I've been up North Green Bay in the negative temperatures. I can't do it. You were telling your story. I can relate to that story, man. Everything on me froze. I'm just not cut out for the cold.
It's what's funny is I've lived more of my life in the South than the North now, and I still have not lost that Northern blood. We went up to go watch the Notre Dame Navy game. And my wife and her father, who's originally from New York, but they've lived down here. My wife was born down here. They moved down here in the 77, 78 is when my father-in-law moved down here. They're making fun of me. I'm in shorts and a hoodie. I finally changed as it started to rain. Right before the snowstorm hit on that game.
Yeah,
but
it's a blizzard coming.
I know they're all making fun of me because we're taking pictures as we're walking around the campus, and I'm in shorts and a hoodie and just a knit cap, and I was comfortable as could be. I was like, "That's beautiful out. It's 30 some degrees." I was like, "I'm comfortable."
There ain't no damn way.
Well, at the races, you can differentiate between the people that are local and not in the stands. Are the ones who are wearing pants and the ones that are wearing shorts. Because most of the time the weather's cold out there. So
I think
see somebody in shorts ain't in Florida.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Listen, it's 25, 30 degrees out there. I just,
Listen, we're not putting down on the seasonal people. We want y'all to show up at this and be privy to this if you don't know about it.
Yeah.
Because if you're from here or not, it's cool.
Oh,
it's so cool.
So cool.
And so if I'm moving anywhere, it's gonna be like North Carolina when I retire.
Right.
I love North Carolina. I don't know what it is. It's something about the mountains and the streams up there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have any Indian blood that I know of, but like it does something to my spirit.
Yeah.
when I'm up in there. But so does this place when I'm out in the swamp, out in the prairie.
Yeah.
You know, like I got Florida, I got muddy water running
Well,
through my veins.
The racetrack's not exactly the swamp.
No.
It's
No.
you know, it's a graded out.
Right.
Yes.
It out is a little chunk of the swamp, but now it's it's
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
a
yeah.
racetrack.
Right.
Water and deep holes, things like that.
I know some people. I was explaining this to someone back up, like guys I was in the military with, and they were like in their heads, they were picturing like a buggy, like an
Yeah.
actual. And I'm like, no. This is like legitimate. Like,
It's just performance
Yeah.
racing vehicles racing. I mean, there's nothing in these
Yeah.
buggies that are like not.
yeah, like I was like, this isn't a hunting buggy. That's like,
Yeah.
that's
And
like,
it used to be, and that's where
Yeah.
it came from. Like NASCAR came
Yep.
from, its
Yep.
roots of
Yep.
running liquor. Swamp buggy came from the hunters building buggies to go in the woods.
Yeah.
It just morphed into what it is today, and it's crazy.
I know, it's so awesome.
So I just want to let you know I got a place you can practice.
Yeah,
I know I know
that
a
on the down
place.
low, man.
Well, it's out by where I live at.
Oh, geez.
So
Look at, you're already. You just said keep on the download.
they don't know where I live.
Yeah,
They don't know where I live.
Right now, I don't really need to practice. I just need to survive. And a big part of the day to win the day is survival.
Yeah.
Because the track and stuff, it's really hard on these machines.
Yeah.
Like they're under a lot of load. We have a lot of gear reduction
Yep.
now on the wheel stuff because we run them big tractor tires stuff, and so they're it's also a battle of attrition. Like you got to not break. I broke, got lucky,
Right.
whatever, it happens. But a lot of guys breaking wheels off. So you got to decide whether Saturday, how many laps are you going to put on your stuff for practice to try to get better,
Right.
or I'm okay, I'm good enough, and I'm gonna not try to break on Sunday.
Yeah.
So it's a fragile decision. Do I run another practice lap to see if I got a little better, or no? Let me save my equipment. Me, on the other hand, I try not to run too much on Saturdays. I try to keep it to 1 to 2 laps at the most, maybe a half lap. But that's another huge part of it.
I figure that's probably
It's
outside the driving and the
Yeah.
performance of your vehicle and what
Yeah.
you got into it. Like
not breaking down.
it's
If you go out there, you will see a lot of breakdowns because it's
Oh, yeah.
it's
matter of fact,
it's hard.
there's a picture of a guy Chris sent us, and he's on the track and he's missing his front tire.
Yeah, and Tyler John's, his rear wheel broke off. That was the one that went flying into the pits. There's guys that flipped, the Jeep guys flipping over in the hole.
Yeah.
Call it the Sippy hole.
Yeah.
Yep.
I should know the history of this, but it was some guy's last name.
I should know that. That's because I don't.
I should know it, but I don't. Sorry, I don't know.
Stay tuned. We're gonna find out.
I don't even know the history of the Sippy hole. It's just the deep hole that
Yep.
right after the starting line,
Yep.
and you see the Jeeps go down and stuff. The pro buggies, we just fly right over.
Oh yeah, you just
But-
skim on that.
But the Jeep guys, they're down going underwater and all this stuff. You see these guys, all you see is their helmet and their neck, out of the water, and they're just cruising through there, and
That's what we do on our side by side.
yeah, and but them guys go at it. Those Jeep guys, I watch them,
Yeah.
as much as I can, and the fans love it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh no,
Um,
it's badass.
Yeah, it's nuts, and sometimes they have riders. They'll take people for rides. They allow it,
Yep.
and belt them up. Yeah, right.
I'm in.
Hey,
Hey,
Yeah.
you ain't gonna be able to ride any of the other ones. That's the only ones you can ride in. But those Jeep guys put a lot of work into their stuff too. It's not easier just because they're in the Jeep class. They put a lot of work into those Jeep.
Yeah.
If you go see one,
Yeah.
it's not a Jeep.
No.
No.
It's on a Jeep frame. They have their rules, Jeep engine stuff, but wheels and everything. All
Oh yeah.
I mean, if it's going underwater, it's pretty much a submarine.
Yeah.
It looks like a Jeep.
Love it.
Yeah, and they're out there battling, man. They're bumping into each other, which they're not really supposed to be slamming into each other, but they still do it.
If you ain't rough, you ain't right.
Yeah.
It pisses off the officials and stuff, but they kind of let them get away with it because the crowd goes nuts when they see it.
Yeah.
And then those guys break out in a fist fight, and it's crazy. They're fighting each other on the track. you
Yeah.
know?
And the mud's the only way to do it, man.
It's something. It's great entertainment, but we're not supposed to be promoting guys fighting.
Nah.
Listen.
It is what it is, man. Listen, I get it. You're not supposed to promote it, but you're in the middle of it, man.
Yeah,
You're in the middle of it.
Yeah, and you could get in trouble. They could suspend you. I mean, there's discipline out
Oh,
there.
yeah.
You're not just gonna go out there and act like a fool.
Well, it's not free for all.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, we obviously don't promote fighting at this place,
Unless you're in UFC.
but we have stated, like we did last week, that we may slap an NBA player or two.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it sounds good. I mean, you bring them over here, I might be girl friendly, but you never know. I'm kind of hot blooded sometimes too. So
Yeah.
you know,
But well, it's April 4th. It's the only night race they do each year.
Yep.
And it's just a 1-day thing. We get there, our teams, we get there Saturday at 9 in the morning. They're teching us in because they have to check the buggies for safety, belts, they check the carburetors, things like that. So tech takes a little bit of time. Once everybody gets in, they're opening up the track for a few hours for people to test us. Then I believe the gates open at 1:45, and then the green flag's at 3.
Okay.
Now, people have to remember we get a time change. Isn't that this weekend?
yeah, I think so.
I think so. Yeah.
So
Dead heat. I was
they'll think, 3 o'clock. Well, green flag starts at 3, but one round later, it's already dark. So, it's that's kind of why the time is what it is. So, the night races are pretty good. From a driver's point of view, it's a little sketchy.
Yeah.
Because the track, there's a glare,
Right.
things like that, especially for us fast buggies.
Yeah.
It's a little sketchier, but
you
it's
just
like driving your boat through the fog.
experience. Anybody? Anybody experience?
Yeah. So the night racing, I like it, but it isn't my favorite,
Right.
I guess. But it's a great time. I mean, the night races are cool.
Yep.
The buggies got their neon lights on, things like that.
Do you have to change your strategy at night?
Not so much. The track's pretty consistent. So a lot of drivers are, if they're listening, they're probably saying, "Oh, that's crazy. It's not consistent." I don't know. It's as consistent as it can be for what it is. It's a track with water and mud. So I don't know how consistent you can make that. But at night, it's just you got to be a little more careful. Pick your spots. Like on the track where I get out of the throttle, where I get back in the throttle. Your markers. I don't know if other drivers use that or not. But sometimes it's harder to judge that.
Right.
So, there's not like a whole big strategy.
Right.
You got to have some lights in the pits and stuff. If you're making it later in the rounds, like if you're getting later, well, you got to have some lights in the pit. It's a whole nother thing, but it's not that bad.
I don't even remember it being when I was growing.
I don't know if they were doing it back when we were growing up or not. I don't know if there was night races then, but since I started racing, there was some years that they didn't have it, and some years they did. I think they base it off what kind of crowd that it draw on Saturday night. Maybe I think that's most of it. But
I like it.
The night race is cool. I don't mind it either way. But
I like it. I like it. I'm more inclined.
Our Super Bowl, our Daytona is basically, it was the January race. That's our big race, and they're all big to me. But yeah, this is the finale, and
I dig it, man. I don't know if anybody noticed, but it is unseasonably warm already.
It is,
and 3 o'clock as opposed to
welcoming that.
Yeah,
that water's cold out there.
Nice. So take me through real quick, and then we'll move on. We're gonna talk some sports with you too.
Okay,
if you want.
Well, we want to talk about the Miami Heat, maybe a little bit.
Listen, whatever you want to talk about.
Listen, I'm a Heat fan too, man.
Yeah. I mean, you could talk for days about your teams.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
If you're a sports guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You can ask his wife, who's who just walked in, sitting right there. She calls me. What do you call me? His husband, because we get on the phone talking sports, and it's
hours,
numerous times a day
for
hours.
You have a podcast about sports.
Well, let's put it this way: while you were talking, another one of my team in NFL traded for a player.
Oh,
so
he did?
That's what I thought you sent it to me.
No.
Oh yeah, he traded for a center.
Oh,
so okay. And I thought he was showing that to me, but he wasn't. It was you were trying to show me something else. But so I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm just looking at it. I'm like, never mind. I'm looking to see what comments are popping up over here in this section to see if anyone said anything. And then I'm like, okay. I was like, I'm just gonna stay cool and calm. We're not talking NFL or anything like that right now. It's big.
She's a Dove Bears.
Yeah.
They've been good. They're good. And they look like they're going to be good for the first time in this century.
But yeah, no, listen, we're sick individuals. I mean, I'll talk about any sport, you name it.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
we talk all sports.
Okay. Yeah,
whatever you got.
All the way
for a little bit.
All the way down to golf and tennis. They're in the majors.
Okay. I mean, I can get into some sports. Like I'm football, basketball, a little bit of Braves baseball. you know, hockey.
Yeah,
Florida,
get it, dude.
you know.
Bingo.
So, well, growing up, we didn't have
Exactly.
Florida teams. The Braves were
Exactly.
the closest thing in Florida. God,
Yeah.
I'm really dating myself here.
Yeah, my dad was the Braves.
Hey,
fan.
don't listen. You're not as much older than you think at least on this side of the
I
table.
don't really ever think
Yeah,
about it, but
Yeah.
like
He's pretty old, dude.
the Braves,
Mhm.
when I was
it-
young, it was just the
Yeah,
Braves. There
yeah.
wasn't the Marlins,
All the Rays.
you know,
No.
Rays. So
Yeah.
you're a Braves fan. There wasn't. I was actually a 76ers fan before I became a Heat fan. So I was in high school,
Right.
early high school, when the Heat came
Yep.
into the league in '88, I think.
Yeah.
So I got to quit saying dates. Brittany's gonna make fun of me. But it's, so I became a Heat fan because they were close. I could go to the
Right.
game. As soon as the Heat came in the league, man, I was a Heat fan.
Yeah.
Right on it, with Ronnie Cycli and
Yep.
Right.
drafted him from Syracuse, So the Raiders thing I explained to you, my whole family's Dolphins fans. I became a Raiders fan because the first Dolphins game I attended was against the Raiders.
Right.
I'm a kid. I'm gonna like the pirate over the fish. So
Yeah.
that's how that happened.
Makes perfect sense.
My brother bought me a shirt. It was Raiders, so I've been a Raiders fan.
Yep.
Probably not something I should say in public because the Raiders, last 20 years, not great. But right now I'm in Miami Heat mode. It's that time. So getting ready to go to a game next week. So
Listen, I grew up, and they make fun of me, but like I grew up a Celtics fan. I'm from a small town in Hick, Illinois,
okay,
right across, but in-state tuition is Indiana State.
Right.
So where Larry Bird went to school. French Lick is right around the corner from me.
Still living in Larry Bird days.
So
a bad man though.
Oh yeah.
so
legend. Yeah.
so like
I'm a Larry Bird fan.
so
What he's basically trying to do is explain his bandwagon jumping right now.
no, I grew up. He played on. I played on the court that he played on. Like I mean, this is
I'd like to jerk his chain, dude.
Yes. He gives me a hard time, but that's how it is. I grew up a Larry Bird fan, freaking die hard.
So he's a Chicago Bears fan, a Boston Celtics fan,
And a St. Louis Cardinals fan.
and a St. Louis Cardinals
What
fan.
happens is what we talked about earlier is people move from all over the country,
Yep.
but they stick with their home team.
Yep.
So, that's kind of how that is. And sometimes you end up liking the team where you're at now, so you're a Boston
I
fan.
get it.
So you guys watch pro sports all the time,
Yeah.
especially basketball games. Like I watch every Heat game there is,
Yeah.
at least the ones I can. And if you notice in the stands, there's usually the opposing team's got a pretty big following. And
Yeah.
like Miami's in other states, like, in Dallas.
Yeah.
You look in the stands, there's a bunch of Miami fans there.
Yeah.
They didn't fly in from Miami just
No.
for the game. Some, but they live there.
Yeah.
So that's how that happens now.
Oh, it's 50.
It's not like the
it's
1950s
50-50.
where when you were away,
Yeah.
everybody in the stands was for the home
Oh,
team.
yeah.
No.
But
Nowadays, everybody's so well traveled nowadays that doesn't the home crowd effect or
Yeah.
the home field advantage has shrunk.
Oh,
Yeah.
Especially for my teams, I feel like, especially the Heat, they go to Dallas. There's or even when they have a home game in
Yeah.
Miami, and I go to a lot of them, half the crowd is for the opposed, especially Boston.
Yeah.
Man. I don't know what it is in Boston, and people from Boston come into the Miami Heat games, but
They're all over the place down
Yeah.
here.
It's just the way it is.
listen. When I was a Boston fan, when we were losing all the time, like,
When was that?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
don't even try.
What are you talking
Okay,
about? dude?
so after
Trying to make it sound good. Tell us.
okay, when the many years that Paul Pierce was just relishing in a horrible team before they freaking finally did the trade.
One, I think.
Before they like Paul Pierce was playing on a horrible team. When Dino Raja was our best player, okay, freaking I was dealing with a lot of crap teams. When Rick Pitino was our head coach, crap team. All right.
Okay.
So I've had many years where it's been pretty ugly. Okay.
Gotcha.
So
Sounds good. Bro. I love you though.
so
That's true for anybody's team.
Yeah.
You remember the ugly years.
Yeah.
Like I'm going through it with the Raiders. I mean,
Listen, I'm a Dolphins fan. We
Yeah.
live. Our
Yeah.
team is ugly.
you
Here.
better
That's
buckle
what we
up
do.
a little bit of
I'm so,
coming up.
so I'm excited about it. I'm so
Yeah.
glad they're tearing it down
Yeah.
because you got to start
Yeah.
somewhere,
You gotta
and
start somewhere.
what
know-
they're had is not working.
you know what I heard someone say today,
What's that?
and it sounded so ingenious because you know how like what the Thunder did, right? When they took all those bad contracts,
Yes.
but they played all those players,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They said, why doesn't an NFL team do that?
Yeah.
And they mentioned both your teams.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this. So the structure of trades, draft,
Right.
and the whole 9 yards, free agency, everything is different in the NBA compared to the NFL.
I understand that, but think how genius it would be. Or maybe not, or no, they didn't mention your team. They mentioned the Cardinals and the Dolphins because they said because your team has the number 1 pick. But they were like, if you were to do that, how genius of a move you would look like if you took all these players, right,
Mhm.
and then and you suffered, right, for
Yeah.
those few years, because look how much what the Thunder are now.
Oh, they're bad. They're really good.
Yeah, well, look who they have. though.
They still got 76 first-round picks
This-
every year from
right, because they
Durant, Westbrook, and James
and
Harden.
they do what like Miami does. They find these guys, overseas guys, or whatever it may be, in their farm team,
Right.
G League, whatever you want to call it, D League, and they develop them.
They go.
He's really good about that. But
Bolster is the best.
Spolster is the best. Him and Pat Riley. I mean, but
Yeah.
but then you look at Oklahoma City, and that's kind of like what they've done. I mean, obviously they got Gilchrist, but
Yeah.
it's he's the guy MVP. I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
You got that, but you look at his cast of guys, their bench, it's deep, but they're like a silent deep. Like
They are a silent deep.
Yeah.
I mean, can anybody here name anybody else on that team besides?
can.
I mean, you guys probably
Right.
know
Yeah.
guys, but,
I definitely do.
but most people will be like, yeah, I know Shane Gilchrist, but they don't know anybody else. It's because a lot of their guys weren't like these all-stars, but
Right.
now they are.
Right.
They won the championship, so now they're the team that the spotlight's on, so some people know about it. But they got a good farm system. That's why they're good, and I think that's what it takes. And Miami, so I feel like Miami's like always right there on the play-in, not play-in. They're like right there. every year.
You guys
Yeah.
need to do a dump.
There's nothing to dump, really.
Yeah, I did it's like, who do you dump off that team? I love the team we have now.
Adebayo and Hero. I mean, that's about
But
the dump you would get.
But the problem is that you've been doing a partial, like,
You're right. You're right.
You need to just clean house.
But Riley should have, I think, grabbed a couple of the free agents, and it's 3 years in a row now. He didn't grab any of these
Right.
guys that were out there that, I don't know, would they have helped Dame Lillard?
He's
these guys?
big fish hunting. That's why.
He does, but he's Pat Riley's a winner, man. You
I
can't take nothing away from the guy. So we have to kind of ride along as Heat fans, like he knows what he's doing. Spo
Right.
knows what he's doing. They're proven. So he didn't pull anybody. So what's he got up his sleeve? I mean, I didn't think Hero was going to amount to a lot, but
No.
now look at that guy.
He's a
And
monster.
you got Ware now,
Right.
He's like 20 years old, and
I like
guys-
Jacquez too.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
But
Jaime Jaquez, all these guys. So, we're Miami fans, so we're talking about guys that people don't know nothing about, but they got potential.
Is Highsmith still there? Did they get rid of him?
Who? No,
Highsmith's gone. Yeah,
that's the problem, though, because Spo can coach those kids up. Now,
he's the real coach too.
if
He's a great coach.
if you were to strip away a couple of those older veteran guys, right, and so he could actually maybe get a higher draft pick.
I just don't know. Miami doesn't really have any veterans. I mean, Bam's the veteran, and he's
Bam.
young.
Yeah, he's
So-
got to be 29.
Yeah, all their guys are in their
But
20s.
well, that's
They
true.
just-
They're not old, but
He's been there for a minute, dude.
You ever notice some of these
Bam
guys?
feels that's what
Like we
Yeah.
would know more, but some of these guys, like I look at like a Jaime Jaquez and these guys. And
I
remember
love
Max
him.
Strus?
I do.
Okay, so
Mhm.
Max Strus was amazing in the Heat
Mhm.
organization. Well, they traded him off. He went to Cleveland.
Mhm.
No, he's just kind of a role player in
Yeah.
Cleveland.
Yeah.
It's not in that system, but he excelled in the Miami system.
Right.
I mean, this guy's taking the winning shot in the final.
Hey, listen.
And now all of
Dude.
a sudden he's playing for Cleveland, and he's kind of just disappeared because
Mm-hmm.
he was well in the Miami system, but he's not great in any other system.
No.
And that seems like what happens with Miami. These guys, Gabe Vincent went out to the Lakers, disappeared.
Yep.
It just happens. These guys that are great in Miami, they get traded off, and then they what happened? No, now LeBron. These guys are different.
No.
Yeah.
But these role playing guys, they
Yeah.
go man, he's got a lot of potential. Let's use him for trade bait. Let's do that. And they trade him off, and then it's like, well, I guess we got the better end of the deal because these guys didn't amount to
Much.
much.
Yeah.
Bo has kind of the Phil effect,
He does.
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
he trades off a player and then they disappear,
Yeah.
kind of like they did with when Phil was coaching. Like he
Yeah.
would trade off guys, and then it'd be like the role player guys,
Yeah.
where they would wait a minute, what just happened to those guys? Those guys were killing it on that team.
So this is why I suppose the best coach, in my opinion, not just because he's the team
I don't
coach.
think people in the round will disagree with that.
And the reason being is that so you take this year, for instance, you take this team this year, for instance. So it's kind of like the rest of the Thunder, like you were talking about. They're super solid all the way up and down the lineup. They
Yeah.
don't have a superstar, but they are
who?
the Heat.
Oh, Heat.
They're super solid all the way
Yeah.
up and down the. You
Yeah.
know,
I mean, Bam and Hero are our superstars. They're
Yeah.
they're
Eh,
you know
and they would be second fiddle on.
they made it to the All-Star game.
They would be second fiddle on a lot of teams in the league.
Yeah, maybe a few teams. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're
I would say probably 50% of the teams.
yeah.
So, but Spo is such a good coach. If they make it to the playoffs, they are a threat.
They're a threat. Every time
catch
they fight
fire.
anybody, they're a threat.
What are you laughing at over there?
So I just want to point this out. Redneck Hockey said, did Big Brew get a pump in before the start of the show?
Who did that?
Redneck Hockey 82.
I have no idea who that is, but
42.
this is they picked me up at my house and we came straight here.
So,
man.
It's got to be somebody you know. You
Yeah.
just don't- it's gotta be-
All my guys from the fire department are watching this right now.
Give it to them, man. We want to see all the comments, bro. We want the dirt.
They were like, "Can we call in and stuff?" I'm like, "No,
Yeah.
I don't think
We're
so."
gonna have that.
We're working on that. Yeah.
Yeah, they're thank God, because if you had these firemen calling in this show,
Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
bro, it would
Yeah.
be Jordan and Dave. Shout out to them guys. They're they're watching right now. So and they're the worst at
Yeah.
picking on me.
Oh, that's
Picking
the
on people.
yeah.
So,
I love it, man.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Yeah, that's
I love it, man.
yeah. We've literally made bets, which you owe me $20 still, by the way.
Oh no, I don't.
Yes, you do.
From what?
Yes, you do.
From what?
We bet on the football game. You
Which
still owe me
football
20
game?
$20 for that.
Oh,
Pulling up. Yep.
all right. I'll
Yep.
tell you right.
what was the?
I remember.
Who said that? What was the?
Redneck Hockey 42. Let me get my
Redneck Hockey 42.
This is how you know he's old. He's getting glasses.
42. Is
Do we know who that is, guys?
that you? Oh,
Oh, yeah.
all right. I'll figure it out. It's all right. Hey, don't be jealous.
Oh, I love it. I gotta send Chris his money. I absolutely forgot about it. I smoked him a couple times this year already on some. I smoked him in fantasy football. Let's start off there. But
Fantasy football and the fire department runs rampant. I'm
Yeah.
in it. I've been getting my butt kicked for the last few years, but I've
So is
learned over
Chris.
the years, but it's big. These guys get ate up with it, And of course, obviously, the sport betting is big.
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah.
never really got into it, but
I
probably a
fiddle.
good thing. But well, there's some guys. My best friend Caesar, we're 100 miles offshore fishing last week, and I got Starlink obviously on the boat.
Yep.
And I look down, we're out there fishing, we're having an amazing time. He's putting bets in,
What y'all fishing for out there?
right, Caesar? You're putting bets in. 100 miles offshore fishing.
That's me too, Caesar. I get it,
Man,
buddy.
he's like, I got to get my bets in.
I get it, Caesar. I'm that guy too.
Listen,
So
I'm prepping for this, and Chris, our other guy, is sitting here trying to send me videos. He's over here doing some gambling stuff on the side, and we're like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm just working on something right now. Don't mind me." I was like, "Dude, we're
Him
getting
and
ready for
Chris
the
You were getting ready for the show, and I was like, right here.
yeah." He's like, "I'm like,
so
dude,
this
what are
is
you?"
Chris's seat usually?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's super pissed he can't be
Yeah.
here. But hey, listen.
Yeah,
Not my
listen.
problem, bro.
Yeah.
It's a great show too, by
Yeah.
the way.
Yeah.
Great show.
Glad I came.
What are you guys fishing for out there? Grouper?
We were in a grouper tournament recently up in Fort Myers.
Oh,
Gosh,
dude.
just remember them, but to give them guys a shout, it was a great tournament. I just can't remember who put it on. Grouper Bash. What was the guys that was? I don't remember the name. It was a couple firemen.
Oh, nice.
Down downtown Fort Myers, or Fort Myers Beach. It was called the Grouper Bash. We got
Shout out to the Grouper Bash.
we didn't place or anything, but we caught a lot of great fish. Anyway, we go offshore all the time, just because we love it.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
fish for everything, you name it, from wahoo to mahi to
Yeah.
grouper, African pompano, whatever, whatever's biting today.
If you're from here, you got to have some kind of fishing experience.
Yeah, I have 2 boats. Randall and Brittany, they got a big boat. They got a few boats. You're born and raised here. It's just part of the DNA.
Yeah.
Having a boat. And to me, it's like serenity out there.
Yeah.
And here I put Starlink on my boat. Now I got guys looking at Instagram and everything while they're 100 miles offshore. But you know what? We got that on there for it's a peace of mind to know that if you do get in trouble out there.
Oh, yeah.
Stuff, like now you just call somebody. You don't
Yep.
have to depend on a video thing. So the Starlink was great for that.
Starlink is great for that, but I agree with, like, I love I'm not a big like deep sea fisher guy, like because I grew up on fresh water, so I'd much rather be on a bass boat or something like that. But I
It's
definitely
not for everybody.
no, but I enjoy being out there,
nice.
like
Double
fishing
ocean.
for grouper or red stripe or whatever. Like I enjoy being out there, just because like when I was in the Navy, just being out in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, there's like this peacefulness out
Yeah.
there. It's I don't know. I love it. I have to have that release to
Yeah.
get out there and just kind of like just be in, I don't know,
If I can't see land,
happy place. Other than being inside my race car,
yeah.
that's kind of like the next thing.
If I can't see land or other people, I'm in heaven. Like just the lapping of the waves is like the most peaceful thing.
Yeah, it is. It's I love it.
Till you get some,
spearfish, we scuba dive, we do it all.
till you get some 4 or 5 plus out there.
Well, you just need to
It
get a
ain't
big
your
boat.
happy place no more.
Yeah.
So I grew up out here fishing too, and I don't like offshore fishing no more.
Yeah.
I don't like trip out there. I don't mind. I like when we're out there catching fish. I don't like the in and out. I don't like the ride.
It's
You don't like the bouncing?
It's okay.
I've
It's not the most fun part. Most guys are in bean bags or they're
Yes,
sitting in
bean
there.
bags.
And I know
Yeah.
I drive the boat most of the time, so
You're looking-
autopilot's amazing.
He's looking crazy about the bean bag. That's the best thing to have on there, dude.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's just
You
most.
just lay in the bean bag and you fall asleep, and then when you wake up, we're
Yeah.
100 miles offshore, you're on the fishing ground. But the guy running the boat,
Oh my
like
god.
me, most of the time I run the boat, I just put it on autopilot and kind of set our course and sit there and you just pay attention. You listen to music nowadays, Starlink, that's right.
Okay. Like so.
TV.
It's like bean bags. Florida people.
All right. So yeah, because like in my mind, like I'm
Well, they actually make bean bags just for that,
Right,
for
right.
boats. Yeah, okay.
yeah.
Well,
Well,
I
and
just pull it out of the living room,
like
throw it on the boat.
right. No, I know
well,
that, but I'm just like
yeah.
in my mind, like I'm picturing being all geared up, freaking like for me, like, ex-military guy, geared up, freaking and like I'm sitting up in the front of the rib with the freaking AR, and I'm like, all right, let's go, and I'm bouncing and slamming, and I'm like, I'm happy, I'm
Well, that's the
content.
worst place on the boat to be is on
No,
the
I know but that's where I always was.
Oh, yeah.
I would be right up front because that's where I
Well, if
wanted
you
to be.
ever notice any offshore boats, you look at it and
Yeah.
like pictures of it, everybody's crowded into the back.
I know because that's
spot the ride.
right, because they were all the weak ones in the back, and I want to be right up front,
Yeah.
taking the roughest ride because I wanted to be point on
Yeah.
point. That's
You don't want to be up there.
no, I know, but that's
Yeah.
where I was.
Yeah. Just watch some of the videos for the what's the name of that? Oliver Inlet. Watch
Yeah.
some of those
Oh,
videos
dude.
on YouTube.
Yeah,
Oh,
People that
dude.
are on the bow that goes slinging way up
Yeah.
in the air.
Oh,
right.
God.
Yeah, you don't want to be on the bow. The
Right.
bow's the worst place.
Right.
If somebody tells you, "Hey, go up in the bow. It's a nice place to ride," they're playing a joke.
But see, when I did it,
on a lake, it's a different story.
when I did it, it was when we were like boarding vessels, so I had to be up at the front
Yeah.
because I was the first one
You're
on.
on a battleship.
Yeah.
It's a little different.
Well, not on a battleship. No, I was on a rib.
Oh,
We
okay.
were literally all
I got
decked
you.
out, and like
Right.
so you're sitting here
Oh,
and
you
you're,
said-
and you're
okay.
getting ready to
I-
board.
I got you.
So like
the wrong way.
Yeah, so did I.
so like
I got you.
so
Yeah, that's not a fun ride.
so I was used to that. So whenever I see anyone, I'm like, stop being little baby back bitches
Yeah.
and freaking
No, damn
like
that.
lounging and everything else. I'm like,
Damn that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm cool, bro.
because
I'm
I
sitting in the back.
when I get to my point, then yeah, I'm relaxed and everything else. But like I'll sit up, I'll sit right there. I don't care. It doesn't bother me any.
Yeah.
If everyone else wants to find a comfortable spot, go find your comfortable spots. I'll sit up front. Like I'm not,
I ain't getting beat up. I'm good, dude. I ain't getting beat up. I'm straight.
So what else we got?
Maybe when I was 20 or
Oh well,
Yeah,
let me
so
let me
might have been
rephrase that. I may not do it today. I'm
no, you
now
can do
I'm
it. He's
older now.
old, bro. He's old. I'm old. He's older than me.
Yeah. Age is just a number.
What is it? Christine, his wife's shaking his head. Yes, he's old. Is he crotchety?
Nah, you're only as old as you feel.
I'm only as old as I feel,
Yeah.
and that all that formaldehyde I used to smoke back in the day makes me look young as hell.
No, okay. All right. That's a plus. Must be what's wrong with your taste in sports teams. I don't know. Just work here. I just work here.
Yeah.
So how long does your show usually run?
Oh, we're probably stay on for another 20 minutes or so. So you can
I got you.
you can stick around or you can head out. It's up to you, man.
No, we're gonna go eat dinner. I think.
Yeah.
And,
Well, hey, listen, we greatly appreciate you coming
Yeah.
on. It's been an honor.
be back with the cup sitting here.
Listen, hey,
Yes, dude.
listen, absolutely. It would be an honor if you would come back on,
Oh, love it, dude.
and we would greatly appreciate that.
I'm sure anybody that wins out there would love to come on the show.
Yeah,
Either
yeah.
way.
And if you get a hold of Jessica Baldwin from
Yep.
the Sports Park,
Let me put that down.
she has she's the know it all of everything out there.
Okay.
So she will get you press passes, whatever you need. You want to do a live broadcast from out there, she will hook you up. And all her people are really good.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we'll get in contact with her, and you know, anyone else, you know, that if
I'll be back. If I win that cup, I'll bring the cup. I'll sit here and
How about this? We have, if you don't, not trying to put the hex on you, brother.
that's not going to happen.
But all right. How about next time? If say someone else wins it, we'll bring you both on.
Okay,
And
absolutely.
How about the top 2 guys we'll bring on here?
So it's going to be either me or Taylor Edmond.
Yep.
So Taylor,
get ready.
get ready.
You're coming.
My guy said
from the East Coast, so
he's coming for you ain't from the Collier of County, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish him the best. Taylor,
So
I wish you the best.
I would say this. I'm definitely going to get a hold of Jessica Baldwin and see if we can get a live show going there.
Yeah.
Possibly. I don't know. We'll have to straighten out the details and see what's going on.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to come see if we can do something like that.
Yeah.
It'd be real cool to go out there and show some support.
And you know, the drivers would love to come over and talk to you guys. I'm
absolutely.
Sure. I'm not going to speak to for all of them, but I know Taylor will.
Yeah.
He's a radio guy. Like he's had podcasts. You know, he
love some pointers from Taylor too. I think we wrap it.
Yeah.
Wrap it up completely.
You want to wrap it up completely?
Yeah. So we can talk to you guys.
Okay. Absolutely. All right. Well, hey, we want to thank you guys all for joining us tonight. It's been an awesome time. And going. Yeah. Remember, April 4th, Saturday. Please make sure you get there. We're going to try to be out there ourselves live, so that way we can see this magic happen in real time. That way we don't even have to bother. We can just be there, and he can walk right up with that trophy and show it to us in real time. How about that, folks?
And it's the inaugural Coors Banquet Cup because, like I said, it used to be the Budweiser Cup. So I would love to be the inaugural.
We'll meet you in the winner's circle.
We'll meet you in the winner's circle, baby.
Yeah, dude.
All right, folks.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. You guys have a great one. We will see you soon.